Why is the new F1 champion getting booed? Is he really a skilled driver or simply just lucky? There are a lot of things going on behind the scenes and we're here to put a spotlight on it. So grab that sub and punch that notification bell, as this won't be our last video. Aight, let's take it back to a bit of a track record. In front of a massive crowd of 432,000 enthusiastic fans, Formula One once again became a thrilling spectacle as Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton engaged in an adrenaline-pumping battle, reminiscent of the intense races in 2021. Facing challenges with his brakes and with Hamilton relentlessly pursuing him in his faster car, Verstappen, who started from the 6th position, had to carefully plan his moves in every corner of the track. What made the race even more exciting was the unexpected twist. Verstappen found himself not just battling Hamilton, but also grappling with issues in his own car. However, Hamilton's pit stop strategy didn't go as planned,
this race, neat stop by the Mercedes,
allowing Verstappen to emerge as the clear winner. Ever since his F1 journey, which began in 2015, Max Verstappen has consistently shown his talent, standing on the podium numerous times and securing several race victories. His breakthrough season arrived in 2021, when he engaged in a fierce competition with Lewis Hamilton, ultimately clinching the championship by the narrowest of margins.
far enough back, he's going to make the lunge down the inside. Hamilton sees it coming. It's a late lunge by Verstappen, who takes the lead of the race. Verstappen now snatches the championship trophy from Lewis Hamilton, who's trying to fight back.
Moving on to the 2022 season, Verstappen showcased his dominance, yet even amidst his exceptional performance, he faced a reality check, serving as a wake-up call before he embarked on his 9th season in the competition. The Dutch driver showcased incredible consistency and unmatched speed throughout the 22 races of the season. He clinched victory in 15 races, breaking the previous record of 13 set by legendary German drivers Sebastian Vettel and Michael Schumacher. While his passion and enthusiasm undoubtedly played a significant role in his season win, head engineer Paul Monaghan believes there's still room for growth. Speaking to Formula1.com, Monaghan remarked, "When you consider his performance across previous seasons with us, it's truly remarkable. He wouldn't have achieved such feats if he weren't an exceptional driver. Can he get even better? Absolutely. He might not appreciate me saying this, but there's always room for improvement." The race engineer believes that the Dutch powerhouse will maintain his dominance as long as the team provides him with the right car. He mentioned, "There are areas where he can improve further. He'll reflect on his performance and consider how he can enhance his skills for the upcoming season. It's our responsibility to furnish him with a car that allows him to showcase those abilities." Despite the season going relatively smoothly, Verstappen did make a few mistakes that, under different circumstances, could have jeopardized the team's championship hopes, especially if the other top teams had performed at their best this year. But does that mean he is nothing without the car? Well, many people think so. You see, a former F1 driver was shocked at what he witnessed on the tracks. Timo Glock couldn't believe it when Red Bull Racing messed up in Singapore earlier this year. The team made a critical error on a regular Saturday, misjudging Max Verstappen's fuel requirements before the Singapore Grand Prix. This mishap forced Max to abandon his final qualifying lap, leaving him starting the race disappointingly from the 8th position. As a result of this incorrect engine setup, Max's race on the following Sunday began on shaky ground. His futile attempt to overtake Lando Norris later in the race added to the series of mistakes, reflecting a challenging day for the talented driver. In this past season, Max Verstappen truly showed off his brilliance on the racetrack. But, let's not forget, both of Red Bull's main rivals, Mercedes and Ferrari, faced their fair share of issues. These problems made it a bit easier for Verstappen to clinch victories. However, as we know, in sports, everyone learns from their mistakes. So it's a safe bet that both Mercedes and Ferrari will come back stronger next season, making the competition even more intense. Now, speaking of Verstappen's victories, the story after those 56 laps was a familiar one. Verstappen, once again, took the checkered flag. This win marked his 50th victory in the sport, a significant milestone. However, even after his fantastic performance during the qualifying rounds and the subsequent win, it's worth noting that his reception on the podium wasn't as warm as one might expect, underscoring the fierce competitiveness that defines Formula One. In Austin, when the 3-time world champion was up on the podium, it felt like a replay of what happened at the Miami Grand Prix. The American crowd didn't seem to be too keen on the Red Bull driver. In fact, There was a loud chorus of boos when he raised the trophy. What made it even more interesting was that while the Dutch national anthem played, the chants of Checo, Checo, referring to Sergio Perez, grew stronger. This frosty reception happened just a week before the Mexican Grand Prix, which is Perez's home race. Now, considering how the American fans reacted and the deep love Mexicans have for Perez, it poses a potential problem for Red Bull Racing in the upcoming Mexico race. The immense support for Perez might create a challenging environment for Red Bull, putting them in a tricky situation. The strong connection between Perez and his local fans could very well influence the atmosphere on the track, adding an extra layer of tension and pressure for the team. When asked about fans booing the three-time world champion before the Mexican Grand Prix, Horner didn't seem bothered. He said, "I don't think Max is going to get the warmest reception in Mexico, but that's water off a duck's back. One year you are the villain, the next year you are the hero." And who better to confirm this than Sebastian Vettel, the four-time world champion? During his time with Red Bull, he was often seen as the bad guy, even called a spoilt brat. But once he moved to Ferrari, he suddenly became a hero. This situation makes you think, if Verstappen switches to Ferrari, he might also be seen as the good guy. It shows how quickly fans' opinions change in Formula One, often based on the team a driver races for. It's a reminder of how swiftly perceptions shift in the racing world, creating this intriguing story of heroes and villains that keeps fans captivated. As Verstappen secures his spot with Red Bull until 2028, attention now shifts to Sergio Perez, often hailed as the Mexican Minister of Defense. Perez, with 8 Grand Prix wins to his name, is undoubtedly a skilled driver. However, his performance alongside Verstappen in similar cars has raised concerns. People started questioning Perez's abilities due to his repeated exits in the Q3 session and his occasional finishes in the top 5. The point gap of more than 200 between him and Verstappen intensified the scrutiny. Despite his attempts to improve, there's growing uncertainty about Perez's future at Red Bull. This situation adds an intriguing twist to the ongoing Formula One drama, where individual performances and team dynamics are closely watched by fans around the world. Speculations were rife in the Formula One community, suggesting that Red Bull had advised Perez to secure a second-place finish in the World Drivers' Championship (WDC). However, the scenario turned unfavorable for Perez when he dropped down to P16 in Monaco and struggled to qualify for Q3 in subsequent races. Lewis Hamilton, sitting at 3rd place in the championship, saw the opportunity and seized it. Hamilton quickly closed in on the points gap that Perez had earlier built in the WDC. His impressive performance at the United States Grand Prix, where he finished in P2, further dented Perez's bid for the coveted second position. It was a setback that significantly impacted Perez's standing in the championship race. At the United States Grand Prix, Sergio Perez achieved his best result since his second-place finish at Monza 4 races earlier. While he initially crossed the line in 5th place, a twist of fate occurred when Lewis Hamilton was disqualified due to a technical infringement, pushing Perez up to 4th. This unexpected turn of events not only gave Perez a notable finish, but also widened the gap between him and Hamilton in the Drivers' Championship. Now, Perez leads the Briton by 39 points as they both compete for the coveted second position. Perez's impressive performance didn't go unnoticed, earning him praise even from his sternest critic, Helmut Marko, Red Bull's technical advisor. Marko acknowledged Perez's excellent race, highlighting his strategic tyre choice and skillful maneuvering through traffic. According to Marko, Perez just needs to finish ahead of Hamilton in a race or two, and he would secure his position. Now, all eyes are on Perez as he prepares to showcase his skills once more in his home race, the Mexican Grand Prix. Set to take place this weekend at the Autodromo de los Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City, Perez has the perfect opportunity to prove that his outstanding performance in Austin was no fluke, aiming to maintain his momentum in front of his home crowd.